we're gonna talk about fatherhood, the role of fatherhood. So, uh, what, Josh? Yeah, let's go. But what's your perspective of fatherhood, Smoke?
Well, I mean, fatherhood. That's a broad statement. It's a broad title. It's just could be looked at in so many ways. So for me, fatherhood is you just showing up, taking care of your kids, responsibilities, being a role model. A lot of people don't like the word role model, but we definitely have to acknowledge that most fathers and most male figures in our life, when you're young and when you're that susceptible to the people that surround you, they're all role models. Like whether it's the dude who had the dunk back in the days with the Dickies on and the Clarks, believe it or not, we wanted to be like them.
Nah, I agree with you on that, Smoke. You know, us even walking from school or just seeing those that didn't have the father figure in their lives, like you always wanted to see something that you know you could have been at that time. Just like Smoke said, they with the donks with the Dickies on. We always wanted that. We always wanted that.
Yeah.
But on the conversation that we was having this morning, before we even started talking about this, just how we're raising our kids now and the role of a father now at our age, based on what we did see at the end. Who's coming on? I don't know if I tagged people right or if I did it right, but that was my little nephew. He was trying to get on. I don't know if I did it right, but hey, speaking on him, man, I've been a father to him, even though he had fathers in his life. But speak on what we spoke on this morning, Smoke, about.
Well,
how,
I think that for people like us,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna use me for example. I was one of those kids. I had moved from city to city, and my mom passed. I was my mom's only child, and I had been through like bullying phases. Then I had been through the phases of me being tough. And when I had children of my own, I was trying to give them what I felt like I missed as a father,
I agree.
instead of just being the father that I am. Like I wanted to make sure like my daughters and my son wasn't picked on. Hey, you all right at school? I was trying to teach them, hey boy, somebody messaged you, you know what I'm saying? You trying to teach them the little fighting moves, and that's not really what they need. They don't need to be tough, as tough, because essentially they have you. So you don't need to teach them an extra hook or an extra jab. What we need to teach them is better better systematic education. You know what I'm saying? Like better marketing, better science, technology. You know what I'm saying? Better spiritual guidance. That's what we should be instilling in our kids, because that's what a lot of our fathers didn't instill in us. The people who did have fathers who instilled spirituality, they turned out good. Well, no, I don't want to say that. But they had a better foundation. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
So I'm gonna say something, and I'm with Smoke. What same thing Smoke said. I think passing down life lessons and values and practical skills. Like I'm gonna give you an example. Like I ain't gotta raise my son up in protection mode.
Right.
When I grew up, I had to be in protection mode every single day, no matter what it was. I grew up in Dade County, in the city, in the projects. Like I went to Miami-Jackson High School, where those problems was just in the community. So now my son don't see none of that. My son don't see 1% of the things that I seen in my life. So that's how come I said teach him life lessons, the things that I went through, to teach him to be a better person, to be a better child, and let them stay children, man. Because I think me and Smoke, you can quote me if I'm wrong, we grew up way faster than what we were supposed to grow up.
Yep. Because my youngest son is 5, and I thought about the things and the responsibility I had when I was 5. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Having to lock the door. as a child, having to go to the store by myself, make sure I had the correct change, make sure
Coming back,
nobody ain't
yeah,
take
take
my
that
mama
for
money
money
on the way
away.
to the store.
Exactly.
And so when you get into that, you know, that's different. I remember in New Jersey, you know what I'm saying, when I had lived there, niggas was taking kids' hats, bro.
That's crazy.
Niggas was robbing kids. Niggas was going out to elementary school, like taking kids' jackets. You know what I'm saying? Like I could remember in the winter time, like seeing some of my friends, like, where your jacket at? Nigga stole an 8-year-old jacket.
And that don't even make sense.
Bro, that is some, bro. When I think about it now, that is some sucker shit, man. What type of pole hustling and thieving was these kids doing where you see a kid with a leather jacket on and you gonna take it? That is some pole shit. And I wish I could run into a lot of them dudes. Not that I remember them, but I do remember a few who was taking stuff from kids. And that was my fear. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember how dangerous the trains was. And when I took my kids to New Jersey, we was gonna take them on the train ride to New York. And even as an adult, I was like, man, I don't want to take my kids on no fucking subway. But that's us.
That's us as parents.
Just being protective. And believe it or not, our kids probably ain't even gonna go through that. So a lot of times I had to catch myself, hey man, don't mistreat people. Like don't pick on people. If you see a bunch of kids around just picking on somebody, that ain't cool. That ain't being solid. You don't do something just to hurt someone else to make yourself look good. If you don't like somebody, don't deal with them.
Don't deal with them. And I agree with that.
But we ain't gonna treat people bad. We ain't gonna bully them. That ain't who he is. We live a good life, and I want him to exude that. I want him to exude the happiness. When you come home and your daddy hug you, when you leave out, you don't leave out angry with your face all balled up. Leave out like you just got a hug from your dad. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to establish that, because now when I see him play football, I'm like, oh, all right, he got it. It's a gene thing. Yeah, but on the flip side, you know, man, I let him know, you know, I cuddle with him. I don't give a damn. We get in the bed and he lay down in the bed with me sometime, man. We gonna cuddle. That's what's missing.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, Smoke. Mm-hmm. Tell me how the impact of you becoming a father changed your life. Like it gave you a different outlook on life. Like once you knew you was becoming a father.
Well, I had girls first. So, you know what I'm saying? I had daughters first. And honestly, I've always just had the pressure, you know, the pressure of having to take care of things, because when 12, you know, my mom passed and my grandmother was living like in a 1-bedroom. So, you know, when I moved with her, we shared a 1-bedroom, and you know what I'm saying? We ain't have much. She broke bills down to me then. Hey, you want cable? Mm. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. The cable $60 a month. So we been talking numbers. So thank God that I had my daughter at a time where I could take care of her, where, you know what I'm saying, she did have a mom who was, you know what I'm saying, taking care of her. And basically, I was kind of used to people depending on me at this time. But her right there, like seeing her, it just made me not want to fail. And that's good and bad, because when you young and you got that much diesel fuel in you, not failing could turn into something else.
Sound great. Sound great.
Yeah, but you know, not failing can fuel you to walk inside a bank and don't play and put all the money in the bag. Yeah. So thank God I was able to, you know what I'm saying, take care of her, you know, for the times that I did. And even now, it's not that I would say that that being a parent comes with pressure. It just means that this person depends on you.
Nah, I'm not gonna disagree with that, but being a parent comes with pressure. So I'm gonna give you an example when
for sure.
When I had my first son, I think when I seen him pop out, that's when my grind really started to say that, hey, I got this little dude depending on me. Now, don't get me wrong. Just me saying that didn't just make me, oh, I'm gonna be out here grinding, and then this is what the lifestyle I'm gonna live. Nah, it comes with so much more, and the where we miss out on as dads, as parents, and so forth like that. But we're gonna say it as a father right now. But we miss out on a lot of things. When I say we miss out on a lot of things, like are you being that role model? Like one thing I say that Smoke said it as well. Like those kids are watching.
Right.
Like they're watching everything you do, every move you make, everything, and they're still trying to figure it out. So I can honestly say, me as a dad, I lost a lot because I let my sons see some things that I didn't want them to see, but it came with a lot of like being lost and being confused as a father. But me and my mindset thinking, oh, if I just get up and go to work every day and I make sure that they got lights, they got food, they got everything that they need, that's me being a perfect father. But I failed at that, to say it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And at this point in my life now with my son, which is 11, and I have Bryson as well, which is my oldest one. But like I've let them see some things that I did not want them to see. But guess what? I'm in daddy fix it mode right now. Like I try to communicate with them more. I try to let them know what's going on, because both of them can understand at this point. So like I look at it as I got to be the best version of myself, and that's what I got to show them. And the only way I can show them is like standing on my word, communicating with them, and letting them know where we're at in life and where I'm at in life. So moving forward, like, not to go against you, Smoke.
But okay. No, I mean
it's hard.
It's different for everyone. Like when I had my daughter, my thing was just not failing, because if I fail, she fails. And I did end up, you know what I'm saying, what I would consider a failed part of life. I did end up having to leave her. But the reason why I said it was no pressure, because I never had like nothing like I could fall back on. Like I always had to push through. And I think that was all of us. Like, you know, it's different for people who live with their parents, and it's different for people who have always helped their parents. You know what I'm saying? I've always helped my grandmother with bills, or I always, you know this, always had to go to the grocery store with her, or even if it's putting up groceries, keeping my room clean. I was a wild child, but I always knew that I had to make it. I had to do something, because you know, I just had this sense that we ain't have it all. So when I had my daughter, it's not like I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? It was like, okay, whatever I do, I gotta turn it up a notch.
You gotta turn it up,
because I don't want her to be without. And I think as a parent, nobody said, well, I guess we're gonna sleep under the bridge.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not the plan. The plan is to always want to see them smile. What you want? Ice cream. Let me get 3 ice cream cones.
Yep.
So it's always to make them smile. But I think that when I look at other kids like my daughter's age, that's 22, 21, 21, 22, 23, I think that we parented so good that we've almost crippled them in a way, because we just grabbed them and did everything instead of like walking them through. You know, it's kind of like the thing where they say the footprints in the sand.
Yeah.
It's like we carried a lot of them when we should have sat them down and walked with them. A lot of times we just say, hey man, watch out, and held them and did it. And so a lot of things they miss. So some of us are parenting so good that the kids, they almost don't know nothing.
Nah, big facts.
The kids don't know what it's like to struggle. They almost don't know the value of money. Like if you have daughters like I do, and they might walk around in $300, $400, $500, $600 for a hairdo. when you have to flip a burger for that, or if you have to lift a box,
Yeah.
and now you're like, well, damn. I could spend 2 days worth of shift on one item.
On one item, exactly.
Now it just turns into something different. So I think that us as parents today, we have to instill in our kids like the value of money.
Yeah,
like where we are at and what's keeping us as people down. Hey, is this really important?
Yeah.
How important is this that you spend $12,000 a year on this? Right. Imagine if you take that away and save this $12,000 for your future.
Yeah. Hey, I was having a conversation with somebody today, and they spoke about spending $6 at Smoothie King every single day. We broke down the
7
numbers.
days a week.
Yeah, we broke down the numbers. It's $195 per month, right? $2,300 per year. Like, could you imagine what you be doing with that? Like, I gave them the example of buy you a blender, create your own.
Yeah, if you took the $2,300, and said, boom, this what I'm gonna do. Yeah. You would probably save.
Yeah. So much more.
Probably 70% of that. Yeah. Because they got some frozen fruit. I don't know how healthy it is or how, but they got frozen fruit. I've seen people hold that frozen fruit forever.
Yeah. And like little
I don't
stuff.
think I'm sure it get old at some point, but it probably lasts longer.
Nah, I agree.
You be making smoothies for the next month.
And some points that takes me to another point where I'm at. Every time I think about this situation, I think of it as where I want to be at in life because of what I know I've been through. Like the legacy that my dad left me, like it's crazy. I'll probably get emotional if I sit here and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the legacy that he left me to see that my dad, not to badmouth my dad or anything, because I do got brothers and sisters that are watching this, and I know how everybody feel about our dad. So my dad left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm not gonna leave it. I'm not gonna get into detail about it, but it's some things that I do see that was challenging for me, and as me being a father. So I did take some childhood traumas that my dad left me and his legacy that became a trauma in my life and carried on into me being a father and me living my life as a man. And I think about it a lot. And I also overcame so much more today on where I'm at in my life right now. But it took a lot of lessons learned. It took a lot of heartbreak. It took a lot of things in my life and a lot of things that my son has brought to my attention, because I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. My son is very smart, and he gonna tell you how he feeling, and he expresses feelings very well and like a grown man. But guess what? That's something that he had at his age that I thought that I got when I was a grown man. So that goes back to what Smoke was saying. Us as parents, some of us are doing a great job in some fields, and some of us suck in some fields. But it's only up to us as parents, as dads, to really find out. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I used to hear this saying all the time: be present. Be present around your son. Be present around your kids. And when I say that,
hey, I have to. Excuse me. We have to hold that right there.
Okay.
Being present.
I'm with that. That's why I was
being present.
Exactly.
Now I'm gonna say something here. My dad, he did a lot of time like in jail. Eventually, what I'm saying, it ended. But I remember being in high school and me and him was having an argument, and my daddy just always screamed. And you just get to the point where you just tired of it. Man, shut up. So, I'm probably about 15, 16, and I'm feeling myself, and me and him was having an argument. I'm like, nigga, you just talking, man. You ain't been here my whole life. And that nigga was like, nigga, I went to jail. That wasn't voluntary. So I was looking. So at this time, I was like, nigga, that don't matter. So, that bothered him. And years later, when I got out, I was like, hey, man. No, I actually wrote him a letter. I wrote him a letter because I was writing music, I was writing books. And I told him, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I understand what you meant. What you meant. And what he always said was, I ain't perfect, but I'm here. I'm giving you something to judge. A father who ain't there, you don't even got nothing to judge.
You got nothing to go off of.
And he always say, watch how it ends. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the quotes that I use of his today. He always used to say, you mad today, nigga, but life long.
Well, I'm telling you.
You don't know how long life gonna be, nigga.
Yeah.
So
how long you gonna be mad? Like, how long? For real.
And what I want to say is we all are not perfect parents. But as long as we are present and putting in the effort, our kids may hate us as kids.
Yeah.
But as adults, understanding what we had to do to take care of them, the way we understand what our parents had to do, it ain't a successful person right now who had a halfway decent relationship with their parents don't turn around and take their mama out to dinner.
Yeah.
Don't look back and say, damn, you washed all these clothes in one day? It be taking me 3 days to wash the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no way that you become an adult with kids working on your grind and don't look back on your parents and be like, I gotta respect you. So it ain't even about being perfect because we stumble, we gonna fall short, we gonna cuss more than we should. But if we are present long enough for them to be like, damn, I realized that shit wasn't easy for you, bro.
Nah, it wasn't. A lot of
And that's what a lot of it is. An 11-year-old not gonna like you. An 11-year-old is not gonna like you until he having an argument with his baby mama. He like, damn, man.
Yeah.
You had to call her that to shut up, huh?
Yeah, to shut up.
Oh, man.
But that goes back to,
I owe this guy an apology.
That goes back to something else. Hey, while everybody's sitting here and just watching us, you know what I'm saying? We love the support. We want y'all to like. We want y'all to share. We want y'all to let other people know that we're trying to do something. As you can see, we just started. We trying to get it all together. But like, subscribe, and share. But like on what you were just saying, Smoke. So one thing that I see we got to address the generational traumas on the things that we went through as parents and as kids. Because if you don't address those, it's gonna be to the point of what you said, Smoke. Like, damn, Dad. I understand why you said that to make us shut up, but we don't even want to take it to that point, or even letting our kids do the things or say the things that we've done. Because guess what? Now their kids are gonna hear them saying it, and it's gonna go on forever. So at the point I'm in life right now, I'm willing to sacrifice everything that I do to break the generational curse that my dad has left me, and somewhat have my son has left. Somewhat have my son has seen the things that I've done. But like, learn patience and understand in difficult moments. Like, I've had some difficult moments in my life that I didn't have the understanding that where without me understanding and without me seeing from a different perspective or from a different lens, I fell short. And my son have seen some things that I'm in the process on trying to fix now and develop a better relationship with him because of my actions. And as dads, one thing I can say, I've seen it. I raised my hand and I've done it, but I'm in the process on fixing it. And once I say I'm in the process on fixing it, that's when my growth comes in. So a lot of us out here, we don't see our own actions, or we don't see what we're doing wrong. But once we realize that and see what we're doing wrong, that's when the immediate growth or fixing self should immediately start. So let's speak about the emotional side of fatherhood. Smoke, let me hear this, because I know you. I know Smoke. Man, let me hear this part.
Well, I mean, the way that these kids are, well, we ain't gonna talk about the kids.
Nah.
Because we're gonna talk about
us,
the parents.
Yeah. Us, the fathers.
What a lot of kids don't know as far as the daughters and the sons is that when you a father, you probably have done more dumb shit than a mom.
Facts.
So for a lot of times,
Facts.
when you see your kids doing something, you like, hey, that ain't gonna work out good for you. And they
Yeah.
like, because think about it, right? And this goes back when we was looking at the dope dealers in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
right? And they was pulling up to the high school in the box Chevys and the chains, and we like, man, they looked cooler than our dad who went to work.
Went to work every day.
But now we realize after meeting some of their kids that them niggas looked cooler because they wasn't at home with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Now meeting some of those people kids who are grown, and now we like, oh, such and such your daddy. Yeah. Now oh, and they hate him. Oh yeah, man, I was raised by my stepdaddy or my uncle, but your daddy was this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we see that those guys were so busy entertaining the streets that they wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
They lacked it.
And the people who we seen in front of us with the dirty uniforms, some people had like George, right? I always talk about this. George Harris, man. His granddad was like a granddad to us all. And the crazy part is, man, his granddad used to live in that uniform, dog.
Every day.
God bless him too. He passed away, but his granddaddy used to live in that uniform, dog. Yeah. And this man, you wouldn't wake up and say, hey, I want to be like George's granddaddy.
No, you wouldn't.
But he took care of his family, dog. And how in the hell could that not be, you know what I'm saying, your role model? Now he ain't gonna take that uniform. I still don't know what he did. He did some type of it was plumbing or something he did.
But I
ain't gonna lie, he ain't take the uniform off.
Look, I'm gonna say this though, cause thinking about it, cause coming to think about it, if you look at George, right? You look at George, because his granddad was the only dad that I seen for George.
Right. Yeah. I never met his dad. I don't
now,
know
if you look at George and you look at the relationship that George and little George got, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the generational things that
his granddad made sure.
Yeah, like
we used to be piled up on the back of his truck, man.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Well, y'all was playing football. Yeah. We was actually going to the football games to see y'all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we was piled up on the back of this man pickup truck. Yeah. That was hazardous. If one of us would have fell off of there, dog, he would have been. Our mamas would have been cussing him out. But man, listen,
hey, he made it happen though.
When you look at people like that who ain't wear like the fly stuff, you're like, man, what type of?
Nah, George was fly in high school now.
George was, but you know, like his granddaddy, like nobody came and seen the dirt in the dirt on the uniform. I used to be coming in there 8 at night. It used to be 8 at night. Fact. We still playing Mario Kart or whatever. He used to be on the chair.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, I know George granddaddy time, man. Let me get up out of here. He worked all day. And to this day, I don't even know what he did. I knew he took care of his family. Yeah. And he got Jordans. And he got George. Every Jordan that came out. And he wore them the same day. He got him to the basketball court and played him. So obviously he was working pretty damn hard, man. He was working pretty damn hard. Now that I know the price of what the Jordans is, I know he was working pretty damn hard.
You do them numbers, and I'm gonna say something too, man. Like being a father is not easy. Like being a father is, I think, one of the hardest jobs in the world. And when I say being one of the hardest jobs in the world, it's you really got to step out of who you are to let your kids or your sons or daughters, however, see you from a different perspective, from a different lens. And when I say that, like sometimes me, I'm gonna speak on me right now. Sometimes me, I do some things out of ego, out of feelings, out of emotions that's not aligned with the person that I'm really trying to be. So I act out. I I'm gonna continue to say, I've let my son see some things that I really didn't want him to see. But now at this point, like my son has let me know, like, Dad, I see you. I see the things that you've done. And and not saying that he doesn't love me for the things that I've done. I know the love is still there because my son tells me I love you whenever I leave the house or whenever we get off the phone, and that's my guy. But I still know in his head that he's seen Daddy do some things that doesn't align with him as a person. So I truly understand where he's at and the things that I've let him see, because my dad has let me see some things that has like affected me in my life at this point. So now the journey that I've been on is really showing everybody the best version of myself. Despite if it's gonna hurt your feelings, if it's gonna make you feel different about me, if you're gonna say anything about me because I'm giving you the best version of myself, I may hurt your feelings. Because guess what? Maybe it was at that time to hurt your feelings. Maybe it was at that time for you to have that understanding of me hurting your feelings. But it's okay. It's okay. Like with my son, it's next level type stuff of being a father, and that's my perspective of being a father. It's a hard job out here, man. Being a dad ain't easy. It ain't easy, and if you got a manual written that teach me how to be a better dad with love, send it to me. Send it to me, because I think being a dad is being live and present every single day.
That's all you could do. You have to, because we don't know what's sticking and like what's not sticking. So you might have a kid, you might have a dad who get up every day and go to work, and you might feel like he corny. And some kids, they want to be cool, so they basically following what they think is cool.
Yeah.
And what you doing, it may be corny to them. So they may listen or they may not listen, but you know what? You have to keep talking.
Yeah, you can't
You have
stop.
to keep talking. You have to keep pointing out things. You have to continue to better yourself, because like we just agreed on, it's about being present. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is at least when they do get older, well, Dad, this, I ain't like this, I ain't like that, I ain't like that. Yeah, but I was working every day. I came home, I threw the football around with you when I could. But imagine if you had nothing. And I know it hurts, you know what I'm saying? Because being present means that you're gonna get judged. Somebody who does nothing, it's nothing for you to judge.
Yeah, you got no
rating. It's nothing there. So of course, somebody who's there, who's messing up, who's trying to fix it, who's making mistakes, of course you're gonna judge them. Because you know why? They doing stuff for you to judge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even me as a step parent, is you're always gonna be held under scrutiny. But you got fathers who don't do nothing. They ain't held under as much scrutiny, but basically because it's not much to criticize. Right. So whenever you do have, and plus a lot of these people gonna realize how hard life is. Yeah. And then they're gonna replay conversations, or they're gonna run into walls where, so I'm always talking, hey, such and such and such and such, even if they don't listen. And then when it come back up, I always say, hey, you remember when I had told you? Yeah. You got to put it out. And that's part of being a parent too. We don't have that option to give up, because I have older kids and they have done stuff I ain't gonna say I agree with, but I'm just like, if you listen to what I'm saying, your life would be a little easier. Of course they don't listen and they run into a couple brick walls. But that's another thing about, especially fathers, we don't have the option to give up.
We don't.
Like, we don't have the option to say, hey, you know what, kid, you ain't got it. Hey, and I'm gonna be honest. Hold on. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. But we gotta be honest. When you raising your kids based on what they do and what they don't do, sometimes you be like, hey man, you ain't got it in you. Yeah. You ain't got it in you. But if you focus, you gotta find your way.
You got to, and your way will come. But like as a parent, I'm not gonna say just fathers or stay on there. I'm gonna go outside
Nah,
a
let's
little
talk
bit.
about fathers.
Listen, as parents, I don't think no parent should give up, but we gonna get
Yeah,
right back.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't
We
think no
definitely can't
parent
give
really
up.
gives up on anything. If it's the parent, the woman or the man, I don't think nobody gives up on their kids. But like I just want to think about some like what made you, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's take it here. What made you? Your dad been in your life since I met you. I knew your dad. You know what I'm saying? So,
But also too. Oh, go ahead. I'm
well,
gonna
no.
let you ask
Like,
the question.
what have you taken from your dad to help you in your life right now at your age, right now today?
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna give y'all. I'm not gonna get. I'm not going to give y'all an example of what I took from him to help him that helped me in my life. But what I can say is that my dad did like more talking than beating. You know what I'm saying? So me, I talk, I scream a lot because I don't want to. I don't want to beat. So I think that if we're talking about parental skills, I would say that I definitely learned how to talk rather than beat. Now I pop some kids too, but I definitely learned to be the father where, hey, sit down. I ain't gonna lie, y'all be fucking up. And my daughters be mad at me a lot because I say it. But if I don't say it, this not the relationship where I'm talking behind your back.
Yeah.
It's not the relationship where I'm having a conversation with your mom. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now, you may like it or you may not like it, but I'm telling you. And another thing that I would say that I took from him is just randomly like tell your kids you love them and that kiss them,
Yeah, I agree with
hug
that.
them, just even though I got that, I guess like me having to I kind of just like got like weird with affection. You feel you feel what I'm saying? Like how I display it, but yeah, definitely in my household, just the perseverance. I knew my dad wasn't perfect, and I seen some things he did that as a kid I was like, damn. But then as I got older, I'm like, damn, like what type of person you got to be to push through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, listen, you got to be a big person. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. You see how Smoke just ran it down of just him and his dad. Like, I took nothing from my dad. Like, I really didn't know who my dad was. I think all the things that I've seen, the wrongdoing, the abuse, the disrespect, all of that. Like, I took that in with me, and like I've displayed a lot of that type of stuff, and now at this point, so when I snap out of it, and it's like I really realize how much as a father I've lost because of the traumas that I once had in my life. But now at this point, like it's like I try to I try to communicate more with my little guys and like give them the understanding of what I'm going through as their dad, as their parent, and I think it's working a little bit, but I gotta switch it up to get to the point of like I ain't even got to tell them. They already know what's going on. They know exactly how they need to feel about a situation. And what they need to do when it comes to a situation, because I don't want them to think that I'm out there doing anything outside of me getting myself better to make sure that they're all right. So as a dad, I I fight every day to make sure that at this point in my life that I'm good. I can move forward. I can honestly say that like, hey, life is gonna be good within the next couple months, couple years. And as a parent, as a dad, as a father, I'm also setting goals for not just myself, like goals where and steps where I need to be at when it comes to the relationship with my boys, and hoping that they understand that like I love them deeply. I don't know what I'll do without them.
And this is another thing I want to tell a lot of parents. Like, people be thinking, like we established earlier, it's a long life. You might don't really get to learn and appreciate your parents until you maybe get evicted, until like maybe
especially
your roof
those
fall
parents
in or
that's
something.
helping.
Yeah, if your parents took care of you all of your life,
Yeah.
you probably ain't really gonna appreciate them till you like 25 or 30.
Or probably even older.
Because at 16, who can really appreciate what a parent like does for you? Because you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Now, when you 25 and you done got in a car accident and lost your job, and then the father who you had problems with, like, hey man, this how you do this, man. We gonna get you a lawyer. You could come stay with me. We gonna take the kids to this school. Now you like, damn, this nigga got some sense.
Yeah.
I ain't even know that.
Yeah.
This nigga smart. Like me at motherfucking 41, we ended up having to move from Miami to Georgia, and we ain't really. I ain't mad, man. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't done like all tip top shape, but we got all our stuff in.
No facts.
My daddy put on the truck. It wasn't the TV, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we got most of the stuff that we wanted. We ain't had to start from scratch. So when you think about stuff like that, I could say, oh yeah, my dad never did nothing for me. I could say that. But then at 41, I ain't had to hire no movers.
You had to do nothing.
So we gotta stop beating ourselves up, bro, because a lot of times a 15-year-old ain't gonna understand, nigga, I've been paying your phone bill for it's almost 7 years now.
Yeah.
And you complaining about what?
Nah. And one thing I could say, man, my two little guys, they don't complain about nothing. They don't complain about nothing. It's just life right now. So I want to speak about a little advice to these upcoming fathers, man. Like, one thing I could say, where I left off, where I lost that.
Oh man, I never even think about that. I never even think about somebody who just became a father at 19 and 20.
Yeah, like I think that it's the quality time that you spend. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Out of 7 days, let's say 4 or 5 of those days, you are completely 110% present at that moment, full attention on your child and giving them all the love. 5 days out of a week. Yeah, I understand that. The other 2 can be for you. But when I say fully present, not on your phone, not doing anything else, like 110% present for that child. Like, do that all the time. Don't miss a beat. That's for my new fathers. Don't miss a beat. Like, because believe it or not, the connection is real when they're real young. And you don't want to lose that connection, because once you lose that connection, it'd be hard to get that connection back, man. What do you think about that?
I think that for new fathers, just learn, bro. Just learn. Just take it slow. Don't take it personally. You know what I'm saying? If you want to teach your kid to ride a bike, teach him to ride a bike. Like, when I put my son in football, my son went from like I think he was 5, right? So they kind of wanted him to, didn't want him to play football. And so even me, I was having anxiety because they were pounding him. Mm-hmm. And then it was like a light went off. And I'm watching him on play like, on the O-line, he played like the last man on the O-line. I think that's a tackle. And then he played like the middle linebacker. You know what I'm saying? He played like D-line. And then I would catch him sometimes just, I'm like, throw somebody down, step on him, look at him like, hey, don't play with me. I'm like, cause that's not him. But once I saw that it was in him, I'm realizing, when you rough him up, hey man, stop, man. Don't do that. Just just be okay every day. Every day, if somebody say, "Oh, well, why you doing that to him?" Just keep going.
Yeah.
Because as those days go by, and you just got to understand they watching everything. But this is only the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, being a father, it comes with relationships. It's not just you being a father to this kid. It's this kid watching his father be a boyfriend or a husband to his mom.
Or you
And that's another thing all in itself, because he might don't know what it takes to be with his mom. But you have to react accordingly.
Yes.
And even me, what I'm saying, my son have been exposed to some things, as well as just all my kids, period. They've been exposed to me, whether it's losing my temper, or what I'm saying, whether it's some cheating stuff get brought out. And that hurts. That hurts because you want to look perfect. But the only thing that you can't do is perfect is not give up.
Yeah.
We can't check off everything on the boxes. And when they get in relationships, they gonna find out.
Yeah, and they gonna
that
see.
You can't check off everything in the box. But one thing you have to do is be present and go through every day. Because they also, right now, it's not, they might have friends. Oh, I never seen your dad before. It's not gonna kick into them. It's not gonna kick into a 7-year-old that his best friend's mom is a single mom, and the dad ain't never there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna register to him until way, way, way down the line.
Yeah.
Even now, I be having friends coming up to me saying, "Hey, dog," you know what I'm saying? We tell each other that, "Hey, man, we appreciate your dad, dog."
What?
Because I tell them, "Nigga, I appreciate your mama."
Yeah.
And so we in our 40s.
And our 40s be on there just like that. Yup.
We in our 40s, man, and some of my best friends is able to bring their kids and leave it with my dad now. Yeah. Now this nigga the babysitter. Yeah. So all I can say to the young fathers is, man, this is the beginning part of it. You about to be a father for a long time.
Forever. Do
not kick yourself about the decisions, but follow through.
Yeah.
Finish. Don't give up, because that is what matters. I went through a time where my daughter wasn't talking to me. She's 17.
One of your oldest ones?
Yeah. But she wasn't talking to me, and I just honestly told her I don't really give a fuck.
No, you got smoke.
But I made myself available, and in the end, my wife and her mom had a conversation before we did. And so they was the ones who decided, like, well, he ain't a bad guy. Well, I know he ain't a bad guy. Well, what we talking about?
Yeah,
but it wasn't about me. It just was about being there and staying present and following through. And so, yeah, they're gonna have some visions of you where you did something they liked, you did something they didn't like.
Yeah.
They saw you fuck up, but they ain't never seen the lights off. When they get older, they're gonna have to decide which of that affected.
Nah, which one are they gonna be with?
Yeah,
which one is gonna be there? I truly get that, man. Like, and I know Smoke, he was telling me that I needed to open up a lot more, man. Like, it'll probably be on another episode, but
for sure. Because one thing I want to say too, and I'm sorry about that, y'all. I've been on this coffee since early this morning. I'm going right now. But one thing I wanted to say for everybody who watching, a lot of us are being misled.
Yeah.
When you look at social media and YouTube and things that's going on now, and I ain't gonna get too far off the topic, we being misled. It should be no way that I know something, and even though this is social media and people like to say, "Oh, I ain't a social media person," but we need to start being social media people and start getting involved with people who saying something that we believe in.
Yeah.
Something that will help us. Yeah, like we was just watching a podcast before we actually started our own. We just was getting right mentally, and we hear people quoting and saying stuff that's either has no relevancy in our life
to nothing,
or this may be some wrong information. It's just an opinion. Yeah. So that motivated us to want to say something that means something to someone,
Yeah.
that gives someone something they can use. Like somebody might be going through that right now. Oh, well, my son, he just went to juvie and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Maybe you might write it on the screen and I might say, hey, it's really nothing you can do. But you
Yeah.
had to teach him that certain stuff just comes with consequences.
It does.
And you just got to ride it to the
It
end.
does.
I mean, so I didn't mean to go off on that rant,
Nah, you good.
but
I
we
love it.
need to start supporting things that benefit us. It's all right to look at the comedy, and it's all right to look at, if you like to look at girls twerking and all that, whatever. But we got to start supporting some of the stuff that's a little solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People just pushing positivity, people pushing encouragement, people pushing betterment. You know what I'm saying? Just everyone being better, whether it's advice about financial literacy, just talking about your credit. We walk around people every day like, hey man, I'm trying to get my credit right. But how many people say, oh yeah, man, I got a template for a letter, man, that you write to the credit bureaus, man. You got to word it a certain way. I'm gonna give it to you, man. People be like, yeah, you sign up for my class, man, for $50 a month, and I'll send you the letters. And then you can't even end the subscription. You know what? I ain't gonna get into that. Nah. But Apple Pay is the mafia, man.
They are the
Apple
mafia.
Pay is the mafia, bro. They keep taking from your account until they get it. Who? What? Yeah. All right. Go ahead. But
hey, but listen. All the information that we did drop today, man. Like I was saying, I can't get a little bit more in depth on a lot of this from me being a son and me also being a father to two sons. But like one thing advice I could give y'all, man, is and this is real, be present. Like Absolutely. Listen, man, listen to these kids, man. These kids they're not doing or saying the things that they're saying because like they don't know how they feel. Nah, a lot of this stuff comes from them feeling, them seeing, them questioning, and then trying to put the question together to deliver it to you without you getting upset, without you being mad, with you having an understanding of where they're coming from. So one thing I could say, like, you got to be patient. Like, be patient, understand, because a lot of kids out here, they just want answers.
It's a lot of life to live.
Yes, like you said, that's a lot. It's a lot. At my age, like I said this to somebody, like,
see it through.
And this is some real stuff. Like, it's probably gonna make some of y'all think, and it's probably gonna make some of y'all not. Let's be real, I only got about 35 years left, maybe, to live in my life. Like 35. So at 30 and add 35 on to my son will be my age when I'm getting ready to exit. So me as a father right now, with my vision and my things that I want to do for him or both of them, is to make sure that they're in a way better state of mind than I'm in right now as I speak to you guys. Because if they're in a better state of mind than I'm in right now today, I promise you they ain't got nothing to worry about, because I do have a vision. I do have steps. I do have things that I'm going to do in life to make me a father, make me a better person, and make sure I have something that they can stand on when I'm gone as a father. And I'm not saying that my parents were shitty parents because they ain't leave me nothing. Nah, that's just where they were at. So my job now as a parent, as a father, is to break the generational curse of the male figures in the Stringfields or wherever the name started from, is to break that and to make sure that when my son take over the Stringfield, hopefully that he will be in a great state of mind to say that, hey, look, this is what my daddy left me. This is what I'm going to build off of, and this is how I'm going to take my life to the next step.
But I do want to mention one thing, since you did bring up time, like how you said, you know what I'm saying, now that we're talking about time and the amount of time that people live.
Yeah.
I think that's important that we start instilling that into our kids, because most of us, especially the 80s babies, who got into, who might have been victims of Section 8. A lot of our parents were probably victims of homeowners fraud, where a lot of our grandparents tried to leave our parents something and it ended up getting lost. Now we're 40, close to 50. Yep. Well, we ain't close to 50, but I guess we're closer to 50 than 40.
Almost.
And it's like buying a house now with a 25, 30-year mortgage. You about to be paying on that house until you die. You really not gonna have no relief.
None.
So that's one of the things that we know better, so we should be doing better. Like, we have to start teaching our kids that the ownership is important early. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Discipline. Those are elite people who gonna be owning houses by the time they 35, 40. By the time they our age, getting ready to relax. Really, we working harder than we ever work right now because we done bullshitted a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now we, at this late age, we working harder than we ever worked. But that's not ideal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if it's any information that we could exchange with each other, and I guess that's just me getting into like the homeowner thing, like going to court for my grandmother's house, getting into stuff like that, it kind of just lets you see you gotta really get at this shit early. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really get at it early where it means something to you. How many people or how many parents, how many people do we know personally that died by paying for a house? You know what I'm saying? Or could never say in the last 30 years they had a free check. You know what I'm saying? This month all about me. I'm blowing every dime it is on me. I mean, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just something different.
Yeah, it definitely is. So look, we coming up on our hour mark. We try to be very precise to start at 11 and end at 12. But whoever watches this, I'm asking y'all for y'all personal story as dads, or a personal story that how you took your dad delivery to you, and let's start a conversation, because a lot of us, like me, I'm new to this camera stuff, man. Smoke, he cool with it, he real laid back, but I'm new to this camera stuff, man. But like, let's start a conversation in the text message, and like we'll love to hear from y'all. We'll love to hear from y'all. So at the end of that, man, like we always said, we like, subscribe, share,
absolutely,
support this movement where we're trying to go. And the only way we're gonna get there is through you guys. So this is our number one thing, Mirror Conversation Podcast. Five is down, and I'm one of the hosts, Lamont.
Yeah, and I'm Lanier Gasoline. I don't use my real name because people be trying to Google you and stuff like that, man. Cut it out.
I'm sorry. I did that in the beginning, but
nah, it's good. But still, you know, people be weird.
I already know.
But yeah, absolutely, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, share to all our pages, and
all of them.
9 times out of 10, we'll do the same. We ain't famous, but at the same time, we is trying to create something substantial where we could put out the information, hopefully get information back, and hopefully in the future be able to even like hold seminars for people who just want to see themselves grow and elevate. Like, people go to church like when they want, you know, that's for spiritual, you know, but what about when you want to just grow socially and you want to just grow mentally? You know, you have to have a place where you go to uplift that as well. So, you know, that basically just all we're trying to create. We're trying to uplift each other and hopefully learn something on the way. We don't know everything, but I'm going to tell you everything I know.
Yeah. But, hey, we really enjoyed y'all for this show. We'll be back next week. We don't know exactly what we're going to do or what we might just be at. But next week is our time. Back, episode 6, we'll definitely be back. We really love the support, and thank you guys for being here for this hour with us today.
All right, man. Happy Sunday, y'all.
Oh man, that was smooth.
I ain't gonna lie, that was might do something.
Hey.
All y'all needed was a couple old men.